Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Torchwood reaction. This is Haarute Live, and my name is Matt. Okay, so, Torchwood, what happened last time? Oh yeah, we had the Juggalo episode. It wasn't really that, but that's how I filed it in my brain. It was a weird, like, dark circus episode. Yeah, there was a dude with a mustache, there was a girl who was thirsty as shit, and a bunch of people died. We saved one kid though. That was it. Really, that was it. Not. It was a very one-off, episodic, kind of drama there. That was it. So I think we can just move on. I don't think anything of substance like happened. That is worth mentioning for continuity's sake. I think we can just move on. So. Yeah, Torchwood, Season 2, Episode 11. Let's go. 9 minutes late, mom. Okay. Did it just disappear? Was it just disintegrated from reality?
45 minutes later.
You showed up.
What's your mate Mulder doing there?
Oh, Jack showed up.
Jack?
Okay, she didn't know about it. Okay, Jack's hiding something, maybe?
Used to be bothered about people. Didn't matter who they were or what they did. And now, you sit here talking about coincidence. Like people go missing all the time. Like it's a fact of life. Too busy to bother with one missing child.
Come on,
not
dude.
major enough for you? Not spooky enough?
I mean, there's probably, like, a truth to what he's saying to a degree. Like 10% though, but...
Crowd footage ever since he went. Football matches, concerts,
Oh.
festivals. Anywhere there's a crowd, I record it.
She's
Go
trying
through
to...
it frame by frame, checking every face. Sleep in here some nights. Bury my head in the pillow. Still smells of him. Except the more I do it, the more it smells like me. Maybe I was too nosy. Or not interested enough. Maybe he felt unloved. All I've got is questions.
I know I'm late.
3 hours?
It was a work thing. Time just got away from me. Ooh, wine. We can do it another time, no, yeah?
But what I discovered is a negative rift spark
Yeah, I
that
see it.
occurred at the time you're querying. We've always believed that things can only come through the rift one way.
He got sucked by the rift. That means that kid's fucked because we have no fucking clue where it might be. Okay, no, people are showing up.
We're looking for Nikki.
Yeah, that's me.
Do you want a drink?
What if we discover, like, a circle of people that get sucked by the rift? Like a ton of people, actually.
Let's focus on Jonah. The rest aren't part of this investigation.
But they are. Of course they are.
It's all connected. They all had a rift fight. Okay, then. We discovered something. I just thought of something just now. What if all these people are weevils? I've been thinking, what if weevils are a thing? This is based on nothing.
I don't know what you want us to do.
We find a way to prevent it.
How?
Toshiko, can we predict when the spikes are going to happen?
No. And they're gone in a matter of seconds.
Yes.
Then I don't know how we combat them.
Jack, we have a duty here. These people are victims of the rift.
Practically. Tell me what we should do.
I mean,
We help those left behind. Why
the
not?
families.
Jack!
We can't tell them they got sucked by space and them rift or whatever.
So is that it then? We just sweep it under the carpet?
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
Oh, Bob.
Jack is right. Like, what are we going to do? And we can't just tell these people they got sucked by a space and time rift. But I like this very Gwen focused episode.
Ditch the bike.
Would you
But
just
that's only
stop wittering?
Okay.
Thank you.
Apologize for that. That was a little bit mean.
We don't need a talk. It takes 2 seconds thought. How are we supposed to have kids with my job? Stop dancing around it. It's a dead question.
Okay, she's super upset.
You know, sometimes I fucking hate you. You save the city, well done. You save the world, whatever. What for?
Sorry?
I mean, why are you doing it? What are you trying to protect? What are you fighting for?
Because if I don't-
Shut up. I'm talking now, right? You do it so people can live their lives. And there's nothing more important than that. If you're starting to think that your shit is more important than real life,
You're gonna missing the point. Yeah.
then we're not gonna last very long here, love.
Who?
Sorry. It's just this thing at work.
I don't care, I don't care! When you're with me, we deal with us, right? Our lives. You got a problem at work, you sort it at work.
Why is there so much drama in this shit? That is a dumb question.
Oh, God! I'm sorry.
Are they gonna offer for her to join in? She's just laughing.
Yanto, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Doesn't matter.
And I wouldn't have come in if I'd known.
Always room for one more.
I knew he was gonna offer for her to join in.
Could have used you an hour ago for naked hide and seek. Cheats. He always cheats.
Posh has her projects. So does Yanto, why can't I?
Leave it alone.
Because you're
I
getting emotionally
can't.
invested, and he doesn't want you to do that. Yanto standing in the middle like, Mom, Dad?
Package on your desk.
Okay. Plot progression package. What Gwen said was pretty okay. Just like, I'll make it my own thing. I don't need to get Torchwood involved, but I'm gonna care about this person.
It's GPS.
What?
Global positioning system. What you got here is a glorified map.
Get us a couple of teas before we go.
You're kidding.
She's gonna go alone. This fucking girl. I mean, it's some alien bullshit, so she has to go alone, probably. I feel bad for Andy. I mean, I don't care much for Andy, but... Okay, so what is up on this fucking island? What did Yanta found this island, though? Why did he leave? Why is he leading one here? But if it had been something tech-related, it should have been Tosh. So maybe it's something else that Jack is hiding. What if there are some people... Okay, what if the people are at this place here and something happens to them, like something fucked up? That means that they can't come back home. And Jack hides them here and he takes care of them. But it has to be secretive. I'm holding on to the Weevil theory shit. Oh, that... There's someone being covered, so something happens to that first. Jack's there.
And he knows we'll always forgive him.
Okay, so he is... Okay, these people go into a rift, they become weevils, and Jack is hiding this information from the Torchwood team so they don't suffer extreme mental damage. And he takes care of these people here. Okay, so they get fucked up after the rift, and then they come back. Jonah. And it's gonna be like an old man, or super mutated, and maybe a weirdo. I mean, they get displaced through time and space, though, Caroline. So they could be just really old or super mutated or girly. Yeah? Girl, did you just find this figure this out?
They're here.
Yes, they're here.
Listen to me.
Jonah's gonna be a weevil. Please tell me.
He's been here all along.
It's not that simple.
Open it.
It's gonna be either really old, really fucked up, super mutated, or weevil. All those might be the same thing, actually.
Hello?
That is a fucked up hand, like an old one. They're really trying this out. That's a weevil.
Yes. I'm Jonah.
Either way, he's super mutated.
I'm sorry, I must be in the wrong room.
No, girl.
Jonah Bevan I'm looking for is 15 years old and he went missing from the barrage.
And he fell into a rift that transported him between space and time, and this is what he is now.
I was walking home.
And then the rift sucked me in, and now this is what I am.
I woke up and the land was on fire. There were flames, miles on end. A man pulled me from the flames, took me to a building. I tried to work on the burn, and then I realized it wasn't a building after all. It was a rescue craft. The last of a burning planet.
Ah.
We watched the solar system burn.
I've come because your mother is still looking for you.
She's still alive.
You've only been gone for 7 months. She never stopped looking.
I tried so hard to come home. I was lost so long.
Yeah.
Can you bring her here?
Is that what you want?
How many are there?
17 last count.
Families who deserve to know.
Gwen, they're sick in ways you could never imagine. We can't fix them.
They went through different planets, different biomes. All that shit, I suppose.
She said not knowing is the worst part.
How are you going to tell her her child is aged 40 years in the last 7 months, that he's scarred, that he cannot look after her?
We don't have the right to hide it from her. Jack, if you'd lost someone, wouldn't you want to know?
That was exactly the thing she needed to say. Oh shit, this is gonna be painful. This is gonna be a painful thing to see. Like the mom actually seeing the son is gonna be super painful. And it's like, no, I found it. But there's a big but here. No. But
Can I see him? Yes.
but when you need to establish beforehand that there's a big but here. Okay?
There are things I have to tell you first.
A lot of fucked up shit.
I've got Nikki with me. I've told her about Torchwood and about what we do. I need you to confirm to her that I'm not mad or dangerous or a liar.
Did she give her all the details? Or did she just tell her what Torchwood does? Please tell me she did. Otherwise this is gonna...
You're not going to recognize him at first. I know.
Okay.
He's aged. He's been injured.
Okay, she did
Just
tell.
want to see him.
Okay.
You understand what I've told you now, Nikki? He's not a child anymore. Doesn't matter. I have to see him.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes?
Can't see you. Jonah?
Mum?
No. No.
It's okay, Mum. It's me. It's okay.
Stay away.
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
What are you doing? What have you done to me?
Nikki, I promise this is Jonah.
That is not my son.
Oh my god. This is really bad. This is really bad for the both of them.
It's all of you.
Can you fix my wardrobe door?
There we go.
Back. Made it together. Got him left in. She keeps coming loose. You said you'd sort it.
No.
Every evening you buy a bottle of beer. You let me sneak one sip, just the one. Don't want to get a habit with it. You got 2 alarms because you always sleep through them.
Stop.
Talk about the day when you can earn decent money and can afford yourself some decent makeup. When I ask you why you haven't got married, you say I never feel lonely. Because I always got you. It's me, Mum. It's me.
Please go give him a hug. Please.
I've been so lost. I've walked for years trying to get home. I'm sorry.
Why?
At night, I was late. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if he hadn't been late, this wouldn't have happened. And he's like, I made her suffer, but like, oh.
Oh, the sights I've seen, Mum.
It's fine.
It'll take time.
You have to leave Jonah now.
I'm taking him home now.
He's not gonna go
Stop a
home.
second. You can't just take him out of here.
I know how to look after my child. I'll tell them he's my father. I can take care of
We
him.
can't allow that.
He's my son. I say what
You can visit though. You can.
Jonah?
Jonah? No, he needs medication. Oh no.
You've seen him in the good phase. It
Oh.
gets briefer every day. It really might be best if you leave.
Ellen?
Okay, leave please.
Oh, it's all right, sweetheart. I'm here.
Make it stop.
Tell me why.
Does it transform?
I'd never heard a sound like it. This primal howl.
Was that what I heard the first time
The
when he got
scream lasts
teleported away?
20 hours every day.
Oh my god. 20?
Before the rift returned him, Jonah had looked into the heart of a dark star.
Oh my god.
What he'd seen had driven him mad.
He's just mentally fucked. 1 week later. Can she visit him at least? Like, I don't know, half an hour a
Say
day?
you can visit.
Okay. That's better.
Promise me you won't do this to anyone else.
Oh my god.
Before I had the memory.
Oh my god.
Whenever I thought of him, I'd see him laughing with his mates, playing football, scoffing his breakfast. I thought you wanted to know what happened to him. I did.
No, I don't.
I was wrong. It was better when I didn't know. Before you,
That's so fucked.
I had hope.
That's so fucked. That's such a fucked thing to say. That's such a fucked way to end this episode. Please don't kill yourself, lady. Do you get now why Jack didn't want anyone to know? She's moving on though. She is moving on though. She's cleaning the room, she's throwing away all the shit. Is it for the better or for the worse? By the way, I was this close to bawling my ass out during the reunion. I was so close.
Tonight we talk about what you want. Kids. The future. Anything you want.
Just finally gonna listen and have a conversation.
Sorry. You told me everything. From the beginning.
There's this woman, Nikki.
Okay.
She had her son.
I like this.
Jonah.
The episode ends.
7 months ago.
Okay, good. That was a really solid episode. Jesus fuck, I enjoyed that episode a lot. Actually. And it was weird because it was very light on like discussion. Yeah, full length. Yeah, but that episode was great. And it was weird because it was like very light on what actors we got here. Like the crew, the Torchwood crew. We really had Gwen for like every scene. We had Jack for a couple scenes. We had fucking Andy? Fucking police dude Andy, whatever. He was there more than Jack, Yanto, Owen, and Tosh, right? Jack was in it for like a number of scenes. Yanto was there for a couple scenes, half of them being when he's banging Jack. Owen was there for one scene, and Tosh was there for like 2 or 3, right? Like it was, like they really didn't get a lot of people for this episode. Like before the Owen scene, when they all got together, I was like, did they not get Burn Gorman here? But no, they got him, and he was just there, and that was the only scene. It was weird, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how much Gwen we got here. It was a very Gwen focused episode, and it just had this like really fucked story, and it was very emotional and dramatic, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I am very hungry. I just remember I said I wanted burgers, and I really want burgers. Like, holy shit. I also don't really have that much money on my card right now, so otherwise I could order something for like McDonald's or whatever. Okay, so sorry for like getting like super. Okay, I'm not sure how much is gonna be in the highlight, but for like 10 minutes I was like, they're gonna turn into weevils, because for like, I don't know, for like half a year I just been saying like the weevils are actually humans. They used to be human at one point, you know. I was so sure that this is gonna become true, and I was so sure that this would be the episode. And even when Gwen opened the door and she saw him, Jonah, I was like, he looks like a weevil, because he fucking does. Except his face, he looks like a straight up weevil. And also, don't they? Okay, give me choto amate fucking second kudasai. Okay, give me a second, dude. So what is what they are wearing? I need to get a good shot of what they are actually wearing. Okay, no, it just looks like regular clothing, I think. It's just the lighting that makes it look weird. Yeah, I think it's just like a jacket. That's it. But yeah. I thought maybe he's wearing like the same like jumpsuit or whatever that the weevils are wearing. I was like, maybe the weevils are patients of this like place or whatever. I don't know. Because the thing about the weevils is that first they all look the same, including the clothes, which is weird for an alien to have. And it's weird that they all look the exact same. and it's been implied that they might have some human connect. They are humanoid looking, but given we have a lot of aliens that are humanoid looking, but it's like, what the fuck are they? And why did they all show up? And why are they like pests? Why did they all show up like pests? And it's like, sorry, I'm like latching onto this Weevil shit in an episode where they really had nothing to do with, but like, I keep thinking like they have to be like a clone, like a proto-human that got super mutated into insanity and nonsense and became a Weevil, and then he fell from the rift and got like displaced across time, and also like in a paradoxical way, and then it created like a literal like 20,000 copies of the same entity, and that's what the Weevils are. It's just one dude that got super fucked up and got time displaced, and that's what Weevils are, right? Time and spatial displaced, I suppose. And I was so sure it would be this. I was so sure it would be like every Weevil is actually a person that got sucked by the rift, and they transform in the rift into that, and then the rift spit them out, and that's what they came at as. But I suppose that doesn't explain the clothing. But still, I was so sure. I was so sure that's where we were going to be going. But no, it was the other route, which is, in a way, I suppose it's a more interesting route, and one that I like the most. I would have liked the Weevil one just because I would have been right? Because Weevils need to have an origin. I'm still sticking to that. Like, I will not accept that Weevils are just random aliens or whatever, and that's it. Like, they don't have an origin point, they don't have like an explanation or whatever. No, they are so prevalent. They show up in like every episode. They talk about them every episode. It's just like they're there, and just the fact that they never actually delve into what the fuck they are, I'm just like, no, Weevils have to be something. They have to come from somewhere. They have to explain that at some point. And the reason why they don't is because they probably are saving it up, because it has to be something like fuck, as like everybody like turns into a Weevil after they fell through the rift and whatever. I was sure this would be it, but no. Okay, so but like, with that aside, it was really good to have this be what it was, which is the rift just sometimes just sucks people. You know, the rift activity, whenever it spikes, it also goes in a downward spike. And positive energy also creates a negative energy as a result. Which means that whenever something happens, like a Weevil comes out of it, something also gets sucked in. Often. And whenever that gets sucked in, it's usually a person. And whenever a person gets sucked in, they get space-time displaced. Which means that our boy Jonah here, he was 15, he was coming home, he was late, a couple minutes, and he was sucked by the rift, and then he got teleported into a planet that was, what did he describe it as? It was like fucking, what was the planet where Anakin Skywalker in episode 3 just lost 3 limbs and got burned to like almost death and became Darth Vader? It was an evil ass fucking planet, but that planet. So it was like a planet that was like burning and falling apart, and he fell there and he just started burning and he became that, I suppose. And then just a random shift just picked him up and they healed him back in. And he was like, there was like an earthquake or whatever that I felt it was going through the planet, but then he was like, no, I'm on a spaceship or like a ship or whatever. And that was it. And then he just lived his life for 40 years as some kind of weird space-time displaced person. And there you go. What the fuck, right? And apparently he saw, okay, so I'm going to play this again and see what they say. By the way, I noticed that like the scream lasts 20 hours every day. 20 is a lot, motherfucker. 20 is a fucking lot. Before the rift returned him, Jonah had looked into the heart of a dark star, which drives him mad, and there you go. By the way, every time I hit play and pause on like these videos, like the audio like skips or like cuts or whatever. So I'm sorry if that happens. I usually try to fix it on the editing as much as I can, but that does happen. So I'm sorry if it sounds weird at some points whenever I hit play or pause on videos. But so Jonah fell into a flame planet. He got fucking scarred to almost, he became a thumb. And then at some point on his journeys, he saw the heart of a dark star. And seeing that was so nuts that just drove him mad. And it drove him mad so hard, so fucking hard, that he just has this like PTSD thing that for some reason just triggers every day. And every day he's just like, it's happening. And then he's just like, he just starts screaming for 20 hours a day. Apparently it didn't used to be 20 hours, but it is 20 hours now. Because, yeah, like they say, yeah, it's becoming, the intervals of getting closer to each other lately. So, yes, that it used to be 20 hours a day, maybe just 19 or 18, you know, easy 18, but now it's 20. That's crazy, because that means that he doesn't really get to sleep at all. I mean, I would assume he still gets to sleep because he's still human, right? He's just a really fucked up, scarred human. But he's a human, right? So that means that he needs to sleep, but he doesn't get to sleep because he screams 20 hours a day. Unless he sleeps while he's screaming. I suppose your body is so fucked, and like your mind is so fucked. I suppose you could train your body theoretically to sleep while you scream. Like, I don't even know how it is possible for him to scream for, like, that loud, that high, for that long, and still have a voice. How is he able to speak? How is he even able to speak for, like, the past whatever amount of years since he saw the doctor to now? Like, I feel like if he had that, well, he's just, like, motherfucker, like, I have to talk, like, 2 hours a day whenever I record this shit. And sometimes my voice is just done. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to stay quiet for the rest of the time. And it is because I do have like a loud voice often when I talk and I don't even realize it. But yes, like if I have to record for like, I have recorded for like 3 hours, right? I've made like I think it was the Series 8 for Doctor Who video where I just discussion bit, which... Don't watch this video, by the way. It was like very old and it was like a different setup and it looked like shit. But in that video, I talked for like almost 3 hours. Or it was actually 3 hours. There were cuts, but it was actually 3 hours. And there were several moments where I was like, I'm sorry, I need to get some water because my voice is giving up. And yeah, like you cannot produce that amount of sound out of your vocal cords for that long, that loud, and still have a voice, not have any repercussions. Like, I do not believe that he did that. And yeah, I get it. It's fucking dumb sci-fi. It's Torchwood. What do I care about realism? But that's the one thing I'm like sitting on. It's like, how would he able to do that? He wouldn't. Unless he got like future tech vocal cord implants so he could still have voice. But then if there's a tech to do that, then it would be great if you could have the tech to like turn it on or off, right? Vocal cords that have an on and off switch. So then he switches it on to talk, and then when he gets bad, the nurse just comes in and goes like pop, and then he's just like for 20 hours, and that's fine. Like your jaw is gonna really hurt, but your vocal cords are gonna be your mechanical vocal. Well, I suppose they're not gonna get like injured or whatever, because they're technical, but you're not gonna bother people. Like you're not gonna haunt your mother's nightmares with your nightmarish howl, scream that you acquire after going nuts on space. Dude, like that episode was like super emotional. Like I actually got really emotional doing the reunion scene, and I knew I was gonna do it. I knew it was gonna happen because like whenever they're setting it up, so it's going to happen when it's like we have to tell her. I'm just like, this is gonna be really fucked. It's gonna be real fucked. And I was like, when please tell this woman everything beforehand. Because if you just dropped it on her, it's gonna be real bad. And even if you tell her, it's gonna be bad regardless. And it was. And I like it because like she went in and Gwen told her and reminded her before she opened the door. She was like, you're not gonna recognize him. He's got really injured. He's really scarred. And he's aged 40 years. Like, it's a lot happened. You're not gonna recognize him at all. And she's like, shut up and open the door. And Gwen does it. And the mom walks in. And she's like, Jonah. And Jonah is like, he turns around slowly. And she's like, no, you're not. You're not him. Instantly, she's like, you're not him. Don't do this to me. What are you doing here? What are you playing? Fucking shut up. I'm leaving. And then Jonah opens his mouth and he starts talking. And he starts saying things that Jonah would know. And the mom is like, no, shut up. No, you're not him. And that went on for like a minute and a half. And it was painful. It was really painful. And eventually Jonah wore her down. And I liked it. I like it a lot, actually, because like I was feeling bad for Jonah because of course I was. I was feeling bad for the both of them. But I was feeling bad for Jonah because I was like, it would be really fucked if for like 40 years all you wanted to do was see your mom and you feel guilty for coming home late and you feel awful. You just wanted to see your mom back. You saw all this nightmare space shit and you just want to see your mom back. And it seemed like they had a really nice relationship, and they do. Like, it seems like they were a very nice family. They were very close together. They didn't have anyone else. They didn't have like the dad or anything. So they were just a really close mother and son. And even from the text alone at the beginning, I could tell that was the case. And so like, I felt really bad for him, and I was like, he's gonna be like really hurt over the fact that she is rejecting him. But then he did a mature thing, which is start proving that you're Jonah. Because he's like 55 at this point. He's old, so he's not a kid anymore, which means that he's a grown-ass adult. So he probably has thought, if mom ever saw me the way I am right now, she wouldn't even recognize me. She would reject me instantly. So he did the thing of like, she doesn't recognize me. She doesn't believe that I could ever be this thing. I get it. So I have to prove it to her. So he starts proving it to her. And I really liked it because I thought that he was going to freak out. Because I already assumed he was in a very bad mental shape, which he is. But I thought that he was just going to freak out over the rejection. No, he actually did the grown-ass man thing to do, which is just, I understand this is really freaking for you. I understand, mom, that you're scared. You don't want to accept this because reality is fucking harsh. But I have to prove it to you. And he did. And then the reunion happened when the mom is like, oh my God, John, and they hugged. He hugged her. And then they just started talking, and it was nice, and it was cute, and it was wholesome, and my heart melted, and I was like about to cry already from the initial rejection, and then it was like no, and I got really emotional, and then it all came crashing down as soon as it is revealed that he has bad moments, and I thought he was just gonna become aggressive, or he was just gonna like freak out or forget or just whatever. And yes, he does freak out, but what happens is that his mind just leaves the place, and instead he probably just sees the image of like the Dark Star, and that's the only thing in his mind, and then he's just like, he just starts freaking out, and that's the only thing in his mind right now. That's the only thing his brain is projecting. And then he just starts screaming, just at the top of his. Well, it's not even human that scream, but sure, that, yeah. And then that just becomes traumatizing. Like the fact that it is traumatizing, just that image, because like when they were leaving that room, the only image was just the dude sitting in the bed, just having a face of pure fear, just screaming, and he was just like, she remember the cute 15-year-old with like he's like goofy ass like curly hair and just hanging out with friends, just hanging out, just doing self fun shit, right? And then now the image that she has of him is just this like 55 super scar burned fucking dude just sitting on a bed screaming just like for 20 hours a day. And just that inhuman scream is just like, yeah, that's you're not gonna forget that. And that's bad. So what's fucked is that then they go back home. And the lady, Nikki, I think is her name, she just tells Gwen, please tell me you're not gonna do this to anyone else. Just please tell me. And Gwen is like, I thought you wanted to know. And she goes, yeah. But I was wrong. It would have been better if I didn't, because at least I would have had hope. And that is such a like, Jesus fuck, dude. Like, how I don't have answers here. Like, what do we do here? Which is why this conflict is so good. Of like Jack being like, you shouldn't tell these people, and Gwen is like, they have the right to know. And she convinced Jack because she has a point. She's like, wouldn't you want to know if someone got missing in your life? What happened to them? And Jack is like, yeah, because he does have someone like that. But then Jack also has the point of, this shit is nightmarish. And for a mother to just see that, dude, so she's crazy. And I do like, but I have to point out, and I did pick up on this, because they don't tell you, but you can infer by looking that after that, well, one was fucked, and she was cleaning all the place of like all these missing people. She was like, well, not telling anyone else. But also Nikki, the mom, she was actually cleaning the room and throwing all the cassette tapes and doing all that shit, just cleaning up everything, because she has moved on. And that's kind of starts this question of like, was it worth it? Was it the right thing to do? And the answer is not simple. And I do like that for the mom, it is gonna mess up with the memory of her son. And she, not only the memory, but like she might think, well, he had a good life. Or she might think maybe he ran away somewhere and he's having a nice life on his own. Maybe not with me, maybe I was a bad mother, but he's having a good life. Now she knows, confirm for sure, he did not have a good life. He saw some nightmare shit. He's scarred for life, both physically and mentally. And he's never gonna get that life back. Yeah, that's awful. But there's also the thing of like, if she had carried on living the way she was living, her entire life was consumed by this. As in, like, one went in and she had a bunch of cassette tapes and it was like, I'm just looking at the crowd of people. And I'm just sitting there looking at hours at this, like, one corner, with this one person that sort of looks like him, but I can tell by the pixelation. Because, you know, TVs weren't that great in 2008. But then I'll go to sleep and the next day I'll look at it again and I'll go, no, it wasn't. And then I'll just check out another cassette tape. Then, weird that it was cassette tapes. Was it cassette tapes or am I crazy? I think it was cassette tapes. Where's that? Yeah, it's cassette tapes. Why would it be cassette? Were cassettes still a thing in 2008? I would think it would be more like, well, I suppose if you record from the TV, I never did that. I never recorded shit from TV. So maybe you would have to do that with cassette tapes. Like I've seen a lot of cassette tapes in my time. Don't get me wrong, because my dad is a cameraman, and he did use a lot of cassette tapes. And so my house was just, there were cassette tapes all around. It wasn't any different than when you see it here in this shot in the show. You know, just cassette tapes lying all around. But the thing is that this is a first world country. Well, is Wales a country? Whatever. So this is the UK. It's not Argentina. So I would have assumed, and it's also 2008. I was alive in 2008, and I vividly remember in 2009. Yeah, 8 and 9. I was just pirating like DVD games from my PlayStation 2, which was also like super bootleg. Or chipped or patch or whatever, and I downloaded .iso games, and then I burned them into DVD ROMs, and then they used that to play the games. Yeah, DVDs were absolutely a thing, and before DVDs we had even CDs, and that was absolutely early 2000s. Like, and I understand the cassette tapes. I suppose I never really got a feeling for when cassette tapes disappeared. Because first of all, I live in a third world country, so whatever we get is kind of weird. Like I grew up playing NES, but NES was like 20 years before my time. Maybe not so many, like 15. My time was when PlayStation should have been a thing, but I was playing NES. So that's what I mean. We're behind in everything. That's how their world country works. But I suppose I never really got a feeling for when cassette tapes, VHSs disappear, because I also was like, my dad was a cameraman, so they were always around, but not everybody's a cameraman, right? So there were all cassette tapes too, like a lot of shit. Anyway, I got on a super tangent, but the thing is that this lady Nikki, she's just every day she's just looking at cassette tapes, and then some nights she just goes to the son's room and just sleeps there and smells the pillow because it smells like him. This woman has not had a life for 7 months, and I don't blame her. Because it's not only the fact that her son is missing, but also they were very close, and he clearly meant a lot to her, and she meant a lot to him as well. But at the end, after she learned the truth, she's cleaning the room, she's throwing all the VHSs. And that's good, because that is implying that she can finally have a life now. I was just like, please lady, don't kill yourself. Because given higher probabilities of that lady killing herself now. I'm just going to be honest with you. After learning that, higher chances of that lady killing herself. But now she can also just have a life. Because now she doesn't have to look for the kid anymore. And given she could theoretically just lose herself in the memories of what used to be, you can do that. But like, you can do that at any time, right? But now she doesn't have to look for him anymore. And now she can maybe move on. And I think that's what the show was implying at the end. When you see the shots of her just throwing all the VHSs away and cleaning the room. It's just like, that lady might not like this direction that things took. Life is a bitch. But she can move on now. Like, her son actually does get some closure. It's an awful closure. It's the worst closure any person could get. Like, if you lost someone, like actually lost, and then it's like, I found this person, but this happened, would it be the worst case scenario of that person being found? Like, would it be the worst one? Like, what would be worse? If the person was just this, or if the person was just dead? which one would have been worse? That's a good question, actually. If the person would have just been dead, just found the body, would it be better or worse than this Jonah that we found here? Because this is nightmarish. This is traumatic. It's like this person didn't get to live a good life at all. And now it's traumatized for life. And it's just so fucked, right? But just being dead means you don't get anything. You didn't get to live anything. All those things. All those bad things, but also supposed some good things. And like both of them give you closure, but I don't know which one would be more fucked. I really don't. Like, that is not something I can answer. Like, this episode just like it's heavy as fuck is what it is. I don't know what to say. Okay, let's just start talking about the hypotheticals. Other thing that happened in this episode is that, well, it was very Gwen-centered, Gwen-focused, and so we dealt with some of the dramas around Gwen's life, with fucking Riz and Andy. And Gwen is displaying clearly that she is not being able to live her life, because Torchwood has become her life. And Riz points accurately that Gwen does not get to have a life. And I like Riz's reasoning, because it's a good reasoning. He essentially says, why are you doing this job for Torchwood? You're doing it so people can live their lives, you know? You're saving lives, you're protecting just random people in the city from fucked up shit happening, so they can enjoy their lives. They can live their lives, they can just do anything. They can just go out, they can just have dinners, they can just get married, they can have kids. They can do all whatever bullshit they want to do with their lives. That's why you do this. What you're doing is that you're putting your job over you doing that. Which, given, is a little bit of a selfless thing to do. I don't think Gwen is doing it for selfless reasons. I think she just forgets what the point of living is. She's just like, oh, I have to do this. And it's like, why though? Right? So Riz points accurately, like, Gwen, you're not having a life anymore. And you should. And like that's the thing. Is that, like, even if Torchwood might disagree, and I don't think they would actually. I think if Gwen brought this up to them, to Jack, just being like, I need to have a maternity leave, I feel like Jack would be like, yeah, okay. I feel like that would be the case. But like yeah, I like that Riz pointed that out, but it's also like, I like that both of them aren't like great people, right? Because like, I don't remember exactly how this went. So Riz is just talking about some dumb bullshit, and Gwen just screams until he goes like, "Fucking shut up! Stop talking about dumb shit." And then Riz just shut up because it's like, what the fuck? And Gwen is like, "Thank you, God." And it's just like, Gwen, that is so messed up. And then Riz is like, bitch, I'm trying to talk to you because that's what people do. Also, I'm your husband. People talk to each other. Couples talk to each other. And then Gwen just drops everything on him, which is we're not gonna have kids. We can't do kids. Like, I'm tired of this just going around this conversation, because there's no point to this conversation. You know there's no point. Fucking shut up. And then Riz just drops everything that I said earlier on her. But it's like, Riz also just goes, you know, sometimes I fucking hate you. And then at one moment, Gwen tries to respond with something. And Riz just goes, fucking shut up, I'm talking now. It's like, it's weird. Because like, Riz is right. But I don't think I want to have an argument like this, actually. I don't like it. And Riz was at a moment, he was like, what, when was it and what did he say? It was something like, if you don't change this, like, we're not gonna last very long. Accurate, but again, Riz a little bit okay. But maybe Gwen is one of those people that maybe you need to tell her like that. Maybe you need to say shit in that with those words for her to actually understand the important shit that she needs to understand, right? But Gwen was very difficult to deal with in a couple moments of this episode. I would say Riz too, a couple moments. Andy too. Like a lot of people were just obnoxious at a couple moments for like a scene. And I do like that Torchwood does this. Because like there's not a single character in Torchwood that is just like pure and sacred. Like everybody's just like everybody is messed up or just like annoying or just like they say shit that is just like, just shut up. Why do you say it like that? Why are you so mean? Like maybe you're right, but why are you being mean, right? And I feel that from Riz like often, and I know that Riz is supposed to be like a loudmouth. I get that he's supposed to be someone that doesn't shut the fuck up, right? So he just says shit like that because that's part of his character. And I know that he probably doesn't really mean it, but it's still like, it's still something I don't like about him. Then Gwen at one point she tricked the dude into going alone, which given that's what she needs to do because this is some weird alien bullshit. So sure. Anything else I should... Oh yeah, Yanto helping Gwen out. That was cool. I like that Yanto helped Gwen out. I like that. Because Yanto was kind of convinced by what Gwen is saying. And Yanto knows about this shit because he's probably just been hiding it with Jack. Because he does the paperwork shit. So the management shit. So he probably knows to a degree something's going on there. So... Okay, Gwen goes there and they see all this shit. It was funny, this scene where Jack and Yanto are fucking and Gwen just accidentally walks into them. And then she walks away and she's kind of like laughing, just like, oh boy. And then at the end, Gwen goes back home and she is making it up to Riz, just being like, okay, we're going to have our dinner. I prepare everything, I cooked, and we're going to talk about whatever you want. Like, because like that's the thing is that every time Riz talks, says anything, Gwen is not listening. Given fair, that makes sense because whatever the fuck Riz says, I don't give a shit about because it's not part of the show. But in a relationship, you should listen to your significant other when they're just talking to you. You're just having a conversation. It's not nice to know someone, and it's not nice to know your significant other. And Gwen does nothing but that sometimes. Often, actually. Every time we see them on camera, that's usually how it goes. So now, and it's weird because it ended with Gwen telling him about shit. But that's because Riz just goes like, something happened. And they have a hug, and Gwen starts crying, and some shit happened at work. And Riz can tell that Gwen is not doing okay. Like, the fact that she's not being dismissal or angry. She's just like, hey, I made dinner. I made the thing. We can talk about whatever you want. And Riz is like, something really bad happened today. Tell me what happened. And then Gwen is like, okay. And then they just sit down, and then the episode ends with Gwen saying there's this woman, Nikki. Her son, Jonah, went missing 7 months ago. And that's the episode ending. That's good. I remember like a couple episodes ago on what's it like, Meat or whatever. Yeah, when they filled Riz into what Torchwood is. I remember I think somebody told me like, I'm surprised you don't like Riz at all. And I'm just like, it's not that I don't like Riz, it's that I don't care about Riz when he's on screen because usually it doesn't matter. So there's no point in me like caring about Riz because for the most part, on like season 1, he was like a gag. Like he just showed up to make gags or to show that Gwen is just annoyed or unhappy or uncaring. Now in this season, he's actually become a character. And I remember I said something along the lines of like, I would like Riz a lot more if they just had scenes where Gwen is just talking to Riz about whatever is happening at Torchwood, and she's just like, she needs to air it out, you know, and Riz is just there for her as emotional support. I would be like, great, that is so much better than just him just being a gag, just showing up. He's like, hey, I'm the fiancé that nobody tells anything about, you know? It's like, no, now he's actually here, and he's like, oh my god, what happened? And then she's like, this is what happened, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that ending to the episode so much. I've been looking forward to Riz just doing that at one point. And I'm not saying that Riz is not capable of doing that. I'm saying that the show just doesn't do it, right? The writers don't make Riz do this. But now it's finally happened. Gwen opens up, Riz is there for her. They just share, they talk, they're together. They're like, the thing is that usually when they're together, they're just like banging, right? Or just kissing or whatever. Now she's like, yes, there's an actual emotional scene between the two of them. I like that. That's nice. This is really good. That was a good, strong episode ender. It was a really good, strong episode in general. The fact that this discussion was like very... Because you know me. I spent 2 episodes ago just like 25 minutes talking about Power Rangers. I don't take things very seriously often. When they have to be taken seriously, I do. But usually, I'm just kind of here for laughs and just enjoying my time. Like, I'm here to have fun. Whichever way fun is delivered to me, whatever way my brain interprets it, interpolation. You know what word I meant. But whatever form fun might reach my brain, that's just what I do. The fact that this entire discussion was like very serious and just like emotional and just like, oh my god, this is so fucked. I think that speaks volumes of what kind of episode this was and how strong it was of what it needed to do. And I enjoyed that a lot. I really did. I really did enjoy that a lot. I was legit just this fucking close of just crying at the reunion. I said it several times. I don't know if you can tell in the reaction because I don't think I'm a very emotive person, but I was feeling it, dude. I was close. This is so fucked. I keep seeing the old Jonah, and it's so fucked. Man, I think that's it for this discussion. Oh, we've been doing 40 minutes of discussion. Okay, sure, we're done. Thank you for being here for this Torchwood episode. Alright everyone, thank you so much for being here this week. If you would like to see next Torchwood episode, it's already up on Patreon. Probably. Check first because YouTube keeps blocking my shit, but usually it's sorted within a day. But yeah, thank you for being here. And check links in the description, all that good stuff, and see you next time. Take care everyone. Bye.